All right, well, this is section 12.5, the second half of dividing polynomials. Now we're going to talk about how we divide a polynomial by two different terms at the front. So, as we're looking at these two different terms at the front, what we have to first consider is what times x equals 2x squared. So you can kind of think off to the side, x times blank equals 2x squared. Hopefully you realize that number that would go in there would be a 2x. And so we're going to put a 2x squared up top, and then we're going to multiply that 2x squared. Sorry, we're going to put a 2x at the top, and then we're going to multiply that 2x times both x and both positive 2. So we're going to multiply that. That's 2x squared plus 4x. Now some people are going to say, how do we get that 4x? Very simply, we get the 4x from 2x times 2. Now I want you to switch colors or switch pens. We're going to go through and we're going to subtract. So we're going to put an opposite sign in front of both of these because we're going to subtract them both. Now we add them up vertically. No x squareds, and 7x is what's left. Just like in long division, we bring down the 14. And now we say to ourselves again, x times what is 7x? What goes in the blank there? A positive 7. So we're going to put a plus 7 up top there. Now we multiply the 7 times the x plus 2. 7 times x plus 2 is 7x plus 14. Just like before, we go through now, change pen colors, and subtract. Subtracting, we put an opposite sign in front of both of them and add them up. In this case, there's no remainder, and so our answer is 2x plus 7. Alright, let's look at our next one. Over here we have 2x plus 1 being divided into 6x squared minus 5x minus 7. So, we're going to go off to the side, we're going to say 2x times what is 6x squared. As we look at that, what has to go in the blank there? Well, what goes in the blank would be a 3x. So we're going to put a 3x up top. And then we're going to multiply that 3x times both 2x and positive 1, giving us 6x squared plus 3x. We change colors, we go through and subtract both of them, no x squareds and negative 8x. We bring down the minus 7, and then we start again. 2x times blank equals negative 8x. Well, that has to be a minus 4. So we're going to put a minus 4 up top and multiply negative 8x minus 4, because negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. We change colors, we go through and change both of our signs and subtract. Well, the minus becomes a plus in both cases. And now we add them up. No x's and a minus 3. So my answer is going to have 3x minus 4 and then minus 3 divided by 2x plus 1. So that's a long division problem where we have a remainder. Now let's look at our third one. X minus 3 into 3x squared minus 10x plus 3. Once again, we say x times blank equals 3x squared. What has to be in there? Obviously a 3x. So we put a 3x up top and we multiply. 3x squared minus 9x. Go through and change both signs to subtraction. That becomes a plus 9x. And so negative 10x plus 9x is negative 1x. Bring down the 3. Alright, now, once again, x times blank is negative 1x. A negative 1 has to go in there, so we put a minus 1. Multiply minus 1 times x is minus 1x. Minus 1 times minus 3 is plus 3. Hopefully you remember what to do now. We go through and change the sign. So that becomes a plus, that becomes a minus, and we have a 0 remainder. So for long division, sometimes you'll have a remainder, sometimes you won't. If you do have a remainder, you need to write it as plus or minus that number of the remainder over the divisor.